Waheguru Ji Ka Khalsa, Waheguru Ji Ki Fateh. Welcome to this segment of Coach Gurbani's a-sabad-a-day. Our recitation is the 22nd Ashtapadi from Maj, Rag Maj. Maj Mahalla Tija. Sacha Sevee Sach Salahi, Sache Nae Dukh Kabhi Nahi. ਸੁਖ ਦਾਤਾ ਸੇਵਨ ਸੁਖ ਪਾਇਨ ਗੁਰਮਤੀ ਮਨ ਵਸਾਵਣਿਆ ਹਉ ਵਾਰੀ ਜੀਓ ਵਾਰੀ ਸੁਖ ਸਹਿਜ ਸਮਾਦ ਲਗਾਵਣਿਆ ਜੋ ਹਰ ਸੇਵ ਹੈ ਸੇ ਸਦਾ ਸੋ ਹੈ ਸੋਭਾ ਸੁਰਤ ਸੁਹਾਵਣਿਆ ਰਹਾਉ ਸਭ ਕੋ ਤੇਰਾ ਭਗਤ ਕਹਾਏ ਸਈ ਭਗਤ ਤੇਰੇ ਮਨ ਭਾਏ ਸਚ ਬਾਣੀ ਤੁਧੇ ਸਾਲਾਹਣ ਰੰਗ ਰਾਤੇ ਭਗਤ ਕਰਾਵਣਿਆ ਸਭ ਕੋ ਸੱਚੇ ਹਰ ਜੀਓ ਤੇਰਾ ਗੁਰਮੁਖ ਮਿਲੇ ਤਾਂ ਚੂਕੇ ਫੇਰਾ ਜਾਂ ਤੁਧ ਭਾਵੈ ਤਾਂ ਨਾਏ ਰਚਾਵੈ ਤੂੰ ਆਪੇ ਨਾਉ ਜਪਾਵਣਿਆ ਗੁਰਮਤੀ ਹਰ ਮਨ ਵਸਾਇਆ ਹਰਕ ਸੋਗ ਸਭ ਮੋਹ ਗਵਾਇਆ ਏਕ ਸਸਿਓ ਸਿਵ ਲਾਗੀ ਸਦ ਹੀ ਹਰ ਨਾਮ ਮਨ ਵਸਾਵਣਿਆ ਭਗਤ ਰੰਗ ਰਾਤੇ ਸਦਾ ਤੇਰੇ ਚਾਏ ਨਾਉ ਨਿਦ ਨਾਮ ਵਸਿਆ ਮਨ ਆਏ ਪੂਰੇ ਭਾਗ ਸਤਿਗੁਰ ਪਾਇਆ ਸਭ ਦੇ ਮੇਲ ਮਿਲਾਵਣਿਆ ਤੂੰ ਦਿਆਲ ਸਦਾ ਸੁਖ ਦਾਤਾ ਤੂੰ ਆਪੇ ਮਿਲਹਿ ਗੁਰਮੁਖ ਜਾਤਾ ਤੂੰ ਆਪੇ ਦੇਵੇਂ ਨਾਮ ਵਡਾਈ ਨਾਮ ਰਤੇ ਸੁਖ ਪਾਵਣਿਆ ਸਦਾ ਸਦਾ ਸਾਚੇ ਤੁਧ ਸਾਲਾਹੀ ਗੁਰਮਤਿ ਜਾਤਾ ਦੂਜਾ ਕੋ ਨਾਹੀ ਸਦਾ ਸਦਾ ਸਾਚੇ ਤੁਧ ਸਾਲਾਹੀ ਗੁਰਮੁਖ ਜਾਤਾ ਦੂਜਾ ਕੋ ਨਾਹੀ ਏਕ ਸਿਉ ਮਨ ਰਹਾ ਸਮਾਏ ਮਨ ਮਨਿਐ ਮਨਹਿ ਮਿਲਾਵਣਿਆ ਗੁਰਮੁਖ ਹੋਵੇ ਸੋ ਸਾਲਾਹੇ ਸਾਚੇ ਠਾਕੁਰ ਵੇ ਪਰਵਾਹੇ ਨਾਨਕ ਨਾਮ ਵਸੈ ਮਨ ਅੰਤਰ ਗੁਰ ਸਬਦੀ ਹਰ ਮਿਲਾਵਣਿਆ Composed in Rag Maj by the third Nanak, Guru Amar Das. This passage speaks of the method of self-realization. And in the Rahau Pankti, the Guru is offering his salutations over and over to those who have found well-being, sukh, by absorption, samad, in the innate self, sehaj. Here the word sehaj means innate, that is inborn, natural. How vari jio vari, sukh sehaj samad lagavanaya. Sehaj samad. Samad should be understood here to mean absorption, focused. Sehaj is absorbed in the one that is innate to us, which is the self. And so, sukh is the result. Sukh is colloquially understood to mean happiness, well-being, comfort. But really speaking, in Gurbani, there is only one sukh and one dukh. And it is measured by the degree to which we are in harmony with hukam. That is really the litmus test. So when the Guru says, how vari jio vari sukh sahaj samad lagavanaya, what he is really glorifying is the fact that those who have found absorption or found that unitary experience within the heart, with the self, are really in tune with hukam, sukh, they are the ones who are experiencing that harmony. जो हर सेवे से सदा सो हैं, सोबा सुरत सुहावनिया. So they have found bliss or sukh or harmony by fixing their consciousness on the radiant one. Soba, which means splendor, brilliance, radiance, is really being used for the shining self within. So the homage is to those, and the exemplars are those who have in fact applied their minds, shaped their minds to acquire this innate quality of the self. Through Gur guidance, he says, Gurmat man vasavanaya, then mold and shape the mind to the qualities of the self. Sacha Sevee Sach Salahi. And then in harmony with the writ of the self. Sache nae, dukh kabhi nae, nahi. It follows that one never encounters obstructions, dukh, sorrow, pain, which comes from being obstructed, if one were to do what is called sukhadata sevan, the giver of the way. Sukhadata. Serving the self therefore becomes the most soothing activity. Now the fact is that everyone claims to be a devotee. Sabko tera bhagat kahai. But who really is the real devotee? And the answer is, Sai bhagat tere man pai. The real devotee is pleasing to you. Tere man pai. What could be pleasing to the self, to hukam, other than the fact that we are in tune with it? That is really what it means to say tere man pai. What is pleasing to the self? So those are the real devotees. So we are talking about shaping the mind, molding the mind with those qualities so that the mind in turn comes to be attuned to the self. Sach bani tude salahan rangaratte bhagat karamanya. So these are the hallmarks of a true devotee. He is guided by the words of the eternal Gur wisdom. Gurmati. So, Gurmat, the doctrine of the Guru, the eternal, the primordial teacher, that is innate to us, just like the self is innate to us. So, guided by the words of the eternal Gur wisdom and filled with love, Rangarate, they glorify you, Tude Salahan, and guide others, Bhagat Karamanya. So these are the signs and hallmark of a true devotee. Sabko sache harjiyon tera. Now here the self is being addressed, the eternal self. And the Guru says, everyone, everything, sabko, is your creation. We are all creatures. But the cycle of existence will come to some fruition. The cycle of existence being referred to as Fera. Fera is that which is circular. It comes around. And that is a reference to the cycle of existence. Gurmukh mile ta chuke Fera. So there is a desire to bring this cycle of existence to fulfillment, fruition. So the cycle of existence comes to fruition only when one meets the enlightener. Gurmukh mile ta chuke fera. Ja tud pave, ta nae rachave. Rachna means creation, to structure. We are talking about structuring the mind. Ja tud pave, ta nae rachave. So we need to structure the mind in a way that is pleasing to you. That is to say, in harmony with you. Ja tud pave ta nae rachave, tu ape nao japavanya. And the self should become the motivation to self-knowledge. Gurmati har man vasaya, harg sukh sab moh gavaya, ikkas syo liv lagi, sadhi, har naam mane vasavanya. When self-knowledge, har naam, comes to dwell in the mind, man vasavanya, when that happens through gurmat, gurmati harman vasaya. So there's that condition. It only comes to dwell in the mind through gurmat. Then what happens? Then the mind is always sadhi, in harmony, liv lagi, in harmony with the eternal self, ekasasyon liv lagi. It then learns to overcome or break the hypnotic spell, moh, of the senses and transcends their attachment to pain and pleasure. Harak sog sab moh gavaya. So this is the state of consciousness of the devotee, the Bhagat, who essentially lives in a different realm of consciousness that transcends the senses. Clearly, attachment to the senses is lost. You are in control now, not the senses. The tables are reversed, so to speak. And the true devotee, the true devotees are filled with divine love. Bhagat rangarate sada tere chai. Not only are they filled with love, but they're also inspired. What is this inspiration that they are filled with? They're inspired by the need to do and serve humanity. Their minds are suffused with the treasure of self-knowledge. Naam the naam vasay man aaye. And fortunate are they. It is great fortune. Pure pag, fulfillment. Pag is a section, a part. So pure pag, when all sections of life have been fulfilled, that you meet the Sadguru. So in other words, it's a way of saying that the appearance of the Sadguru in one's life is a matter of great fortune, unsurpassed fortune, because it is only through the Sadguru and its discourse that mela milavanya, that contact is made possible. Contact with what? In the first place, contact with knowledge, with the word, the discourse, and then contact with the self, because the two really are indistinguishable. And here is a verse of thanksgiving. Tu dayal sada sukhadata, you are compassionate and the source of lasting peace. Sada sukhadata. Tu ape mile gurmukh jata. You reveal yourself through the enlightener. Tu ape deve naam vadai, naam rate sukha pavanya. You give the gift of self-knowledge through the Guru, receiving which naam rate here is being filled with that knowledge, harmony with the self is attained. Sukha pavanya. That's what we were talking about in the earlier verses. Sada sada sache tud salahi. Again, a eulogy, a glorification to that eternal self. Sada Sada Sache, Tud Salahi, glory to you. Gurmukh jata duja ko nahi. Through Gur guidance, the realization was made that there is no other. Duja ko nahi. It is that one. Ekasyo man reha samay. So when the mind internalizes self-knowledge, manmanya, the self is realized within. Ekasyo man reha. The mind internalizes and the mind convinces itself and the mind realizes the self. And then one recognizes only the one, ekas, the principle of oneness behind the diversity of existence. And in conclusion, Gurmukh hove so salahe, Sache Thakur ve parvahe, Nanak naam vase mani antar, Gur sabdi har milavanaya. So through the discourse of the enlightener, Gur sabdi, self-knowledge takes root in the mind. Naam vase mani antar. So through the discourse of the enlightener, you see the dependence and in fact the similarity between the Satgur, the enlightener, and the self. It's a continuum. Through the discourse of the enlightener, self-knowledge then takes root in the mind. And with Gur guidance, Gurmukh hove, that is when you are facing the Guru, then divine attributes are inculcated in the mind. And in such a manner is the eternal and carefree master, Sache Thakur ve parvahe, again a reference to the self, herself, is realized. Milavanaya. So we have seen here the necessity over and again of Gurmat to actually be able to perceive the one self that is all permeating, that is all knowing. In other words, the stuff that we are really made of. On that note, until the next time, Vaheguru Ji Ka Khalsa, Vaheguru Ji Ki Fateh.